Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Shadowrun Dragonfall. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you're chose to join me today as we talk to Zack Flash over here. Welcome back, mein Freunde. What can old Zack get ya? He asks. Oh, I can get you a formula. We got a formula for Jazz. We got it last episode, oh, not last episode, a couple of episodes ago. We got it in the last mission, in the last run. So yeah, I've got a formula for a combat stim. Can you produce something like that? Oh, you know I'm your man. I can hook you up right now. Really? What's the deal with the special concoction? What special concoction? Flash's grin broadens even further. His mouth is disturbingly large, and there's something menacing about the sight of those two white teeth. Is he supposed to be like the big bad wolf or something? Because he's got pointy ears. He says, "This is the real deal, chummer. A proprietary blend designed and delivered by yours truly. Pharmaceutical-grade kamikaze cut with genuine spirit residue from the tear and then mixed with my secret blend of herbs and spices." I think he said this before. He produces a small packet filled with iridescent purple granules from the pocket of his dirty jeans. You want to get high? Buy some Nova Coke and throw yourself a party. But you want to soar? You get Flash. Why did he say that? Why can I ask that again? What's up with the bandages on your hands? He snorts and snorts out a short burst of laughter. He waggles his bandaged hands in front of you. Oh, these? Nothing much, chummer, nothing much. Tussled with a spirit back in Amsterdam. You know, we elves are very spiritual people. And I said, so I've heard the last time around. Let's say this one. You fought a spirit with your bare hands? Did I say fought? Zack winks at you, his smile twisting up into a licentious smirk. You can't help noticing that his eyelashes appear to be dusted with glimmer. Nah, chummer. Zack Flash is a lover, not a fighter. We partied, and then we tussled. Hard not to get banged up under the circumstances. That's my cue to leave. Catch you later. Toodles! Interesting that he has the same dialogue again. That might throw me for a loop. Because, well, I'll have to remember whether I talked to people or not, because I'm gonna talk to everybody. I probably will recall if I have or not. Welcome back. You need some weapons? Some ammunition, perhaps? No, not anymore. Very well, Gajo. But if you come around again, you come with money and you come to buy, understand? And he makes a shooing motion with his hand, waving you away. Move along now. Zadev, I can't pronounce that. Devleza, maybe. This is for a tip. You know what? I'm gonna tip the dancer every time I come here. See if anything gets unlocked. I don't think anything will get unlocked though, but I'm still gonna tip her. What do we have? The Talismonger. And a cafe. And Kami. And wait. There should be a kid over here. Oh, he doesn't talk. Yeah. Kami? Did I talk to you? Oh, it's her! Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember her name. Do I remember her name? Yeah, she was from the cafe. She was the one that didn't get her stuff. She tips an invisible hat. Hey there, remember me from the cafe? Name's Kami. Are you looking for something? Yeah, maybe that's why I don't remember her name. Depends. Is there anything I should be looking for? She titters. Volunteering information? That's bad for business. Unless Altug want... Oh, no, right. She's not the one from the hotel. She's the one... Yes, I should remember her name because he, Altug actually called her. She was from... I didn't remember her face, but yeah, she was from over there. We are going to need to talk to Altug anyway. She says, unless Altug wants me to tell you something, but that's rare. I'm just his ears and hands outside of the cafe. He's got enough of a voice all by himself. Well, he doesn't seem to be afraid to use it either. Not in the slightest, she says. Since you've just moved here, I have some advice. If you haven't guessed already, he's got fingers in a lot of pies. I've seen what happens when he doesn't approve of someone or something. Pissing him off can't be worth it. And at the very least, he won't be able to get good coffee in this town again. Yeah, so what's the story between you and Altug? She grins and winks lasciviously at you. Oh, surely you've guessed. I don't... Is that lucky bastard, is that supposed to be a compliment, or is it supposed to be demeaning? Because I could see it going both ways. But then all of these can go both ways. In terms of, you know, being a compliment or demeaning. Actually, these ones can... I would say this is the least demeaning one of them all. Let's go with this one, because it's fun. It's the most fun as well. That's the one that I was looking at the first as well. That lucky bastard. She chuffs loudly. Oh, you wish. If you're really curious, though, I wish? I suppose that's just the... Right. That's just supposed to be the feeling of saying you wish rather than necessarily I. It's not to be taken literally, is what I mean. If you're really curious, though, she says, I'll tell you all about it sometime. Right now, though, I have some errands to run. Come over sometime and we can chat over hookah or something, yeah? And she lazily tips an invisible hat again at you before turning her focus to a comm at her wrist. I can talk to her again, though. She looks up from her comm, idly blowing a gum bubble. That makes sense. Quickly popping it. Hello again. I hear you've been busy. Gossip travels fast, doesn't it? It's not gossip, it's work. Survival, really. Aren't there child laws around here? Am I supposed to... Do I go... I'm not going to say that, because... It's all manner of bad. I just said lucky bastard, and now I'm treating her as she's a child? She's not, is she? I don't think so. What makes you need to survive working like this? Well, you know, Altugo always says, if you do not spy, how will you know who's boss? She waves her hand as though to excuse her poor memory, or something like that. I'm just a kid. What do I know? Is she okay? Well, that's, Intel is important, but that should be a lesson for when you're older, don't you think? Kami puffs up indignantly, and you realize how young she must really be. She shouldn't be out of her teens, or she couldn't be out of her teens yet. What does that mean? Well, if you're really gathering intel, you need some street smarts. You're still wet behind the ears. You'd be surprised what I know, she says, but you don't seem like the perceptive type. I'm really not. So that's to be expected. She practically hisses her response, her eyes suddenly narrowed and venomous. She looks down and exhales, and then the clouds leave her bright face. Listen, I have better things to do right now than get ticked. We'll chat later, okay? No, I will chat right now. Little busy right now, chum. Places to be, things to do, and all that. But if you come back later, maybe I'll have time to chat. Okay, I think I tipped her off. Or something. I don't know. Okay, well, hopefully she's... hopefully it wasn't just super bad. Hey! It's, Absinthe, that's right. Oh, by the way, before I said Algernon was the lead writer, he's a programmer, rather. The developer who's, originally... whose name... Yeah, the developer who inspired this. And maybe even wrote Algernon, although I wouldn't know. Absinthe. Can I get lost in your eyes again? Absinthe turns to face you. She takes care to avoid looking you in the eye again. Oh. Edie, she says. A pleasure, as always. What can I do for you? I'm looking for some magic. Then you'll want to talk to Algernon. He's just around the corner. That's all I needed. Be well, Orc. Algernon. Hello again. May I help you? I had a question for you, if you don't mind. You're in luck. I have a great many answers. But we don't need to be here. I mean, apart from buying things, which I might need to. But not right now. I think we're in a good position. Honestly, I don't think I needed the magic that I got in the first place. So we don't need to be in the cafe either, according to our quest marker. So that's a good thing as well. Because I am definitely going to be in the cafe for a little bit. The special today is pumpkin spice soy calf. Is that the good one that I never had, but that sounds good. The Turk leans into you, keeps his voice low. I have information regarding that matter my people were looking into, Effendim. The one involving the surveillance device on my data tab? Altug, says Jan. I've been waiting for my coffee for nearly an hour already. Are you growing the beans out back? The coffee vendor shouts. Can't you see that I'm speaking to an honored guest, you tower of quivering corpulence? His voice lowers again. Now then, as I was saying, we were fortunate that you happened upon that surveillance tap when you did. The people on the other end were planning a very bad thing, to be sure. Very bad thing? Yeah, quite bad, yes. Monica Schaefer was an important member of this community, more than most were aware of. The Skias was under her protection. You know how it is in the Flux, Effendim. The governance of a place like this is tenuous at best. You never know who is going to be in charge from one day to the next. But Monica was a stabilizing force, and not just because she was dangerous. She was smart and funny and wise, and she had a way with people. They wanted to support her, to follow her, because they loved her. When she was killed, it left an opening for others. It would have meant bloodshed and pain if this council had been allowed to continue their plans. But they did not. We saw to it, you and I. Indeed we did, Altog. The Cruise Bazaar will maintain its stability a while longer, thanks to us, my friend. Now, what can I do for you, Effendim? Would you like some coffee, perhaps? No, I'm just killing time. So I gained 1 karma by coming here. That is pretty important. That is super important, actually. Because, well, we had 9. It's not super important. 1 karma is very little, but it's experience, so I definitely should have done that, and I did. So off we go to talk to everybody else, which is probably not going to be many people now. Welcome back! What can I do for you? Oh! I acquired it... acquired. Anyway, I acquired this drone. Can you get it up and running again? Yeah, probably. It might take a bit of doing, though. I love working on these old corp drones. Can't make you any guarantees, but either way, it's on the house. I'll leave it in your hands, then. I'll start on it right now. See you later. Yeah, hang on a second. There was something else that I wanted to talk to you about. Yeah? Go on, then. I'm listening. Yeah, I'm just browsing. Don't mind me. Well, that's pretty good. So we came in from here, we visited everyone except perhaps the central building that I absolutely need to learn if it has anything in it or not. Because if it does, and I don't think it does, no. But if it does, then it's going to be easy to miss, so I need to be on the lookout. But I don't think we do. So it's all in there. Now, before I go in, I'll save and I'll level up. Well, I'll level my companions up. So we have... Oh, Blitz didn't level up. I don't remember this system existing in the 3rd game. Did they make them fully fleshed out characters? In terms of... I don't remember this in the 3rd game, in Hong Kong. Huh. Anyway, let's start with Glory here. She has... she's level 2 right now. That is what she gains. She gains +1 body quickness, ranged combat, close combat, throwing weapons. She's so jack of all trades. It's interesting. +1 biotech, +1 dodge, +1 pistol, and +1 unarmed. Man, that is really like... That is so... jack of all trades. Hiccups, I'm sorry. Although that might... like, because this is like outside of the rules of the game, they might give her like really good level ups later on. And it's interesting that it's only level 6 that we get. Although, the game isn't... Well, Hong Kong isn't a tremendously long game. It's probably about 20 hours. But I ramble a lot, so it's going to be about 30. So we're looking at 60 to 80 episodes, perhaps maybe 100 at most on the Let's Play. Let's see. Razor Specialist, or Pistol Specialist. Glory gains a pistol ability, firepower round, and does an additional 2 damage and pierces up to 2 armor. Costs 1 action point, countdown of cooldown of 2. I will go... I don't need a melee, so I'll go with a pistol specialist. However, why are you telling me confirm all? Because I need to choose everybody else. Dietrich, an anarchist... Oh, they have the thing. So Blitz is a decker, Glory is a combat medic, Dietrich is an anarchist shaman. He gets +1 body, throwing weapon, spell casting, spirit summoning, spirit control. So yeah, not as many. Definitely not as many skills. But then again, it would make sense because he's not a jack of all trades, and you do tend to get more skills if you're lower skill levels. But then again, maybe it isn't like that. Maybe they are indeed gaining uneven amounts of karma. Because that's what I would do if I were designing the game, honestly. Just make these characters interesting. You know, in a way that your character can't be. So we got Meltdown over here. Electrocore spell now strips 1 armor from affected targets. Or, trains further with thrown weapons, increasing his accuracy with throwing knives. Let's not go with that, because I don't throw knives. And then we have Iger, our favorite, who gets +1 body, +1 ranged combat, +1 dodge, and +1 rifle. That's pretty good. Sniper specialist, yeah. The shotgun specialty is also pretty good. She gains scatter shot? She didn't have steady shot. Costs 2 action points, though. Iger gains a sniper rifle ability that increases accuracy by 35 for 1 shot. 35% rather. But it's 35 percentile points, as I keep going back. It's better than 35%. Because if she has 35% accuracy, she gets 70% accuracy, which means it's a 100% bonus. But yeah, the percentile changes depending on how much accuracy you have. And look who it is, it's Blitz. Blitz looks up at your approach. The table beside him is littered with cigarette butts, and a data jack cable dangles from a portable terminal set up by his side. Hey, Chief, you need something? Just checking in. You doing all right? His smile widens. Great, Chief. I'm doing great. It's real nice to be able to wind down and relax for a change. No more worrying about this ganger or that ganger sneaking behind me and slipping a knife between my ribs. He slaps the table with a grin. It's a good time, Chief, I've got to say. No one is ever really safe, not when gangs are involved. Don't let your guard down. His smile widens and he taps his even more, so he's like, either he's faking me out and this is worse, or I think I'm going the right direction to get him to be my friend. His smile widens and he taps his chest. You can see the outline of a machine pistol through the leather of his jacket. You underestimate me, Chief. I never let my guard down, not even here. So, any thoughts about that last run that you'd like to share? Well, Chief, I wasn't around for most of it, but you got me out. There's so many flashbacks to basically this is always the answer when you get a companion in a run and you ask them this. At least in Hong Kong it was like this. All of your companions, which are basically like 3, the ones that you don't get at the beginning of the game, I think. They always say this. But anyway, I wasn't around for most of it, but you got me out of that hotel, and for that, you've got my eternal thanks. So now that you're all settled in, I've got some questions for you. Blitz glances wistfully back at the terminal on the table and then turns back with a sigh of resignation. I suppose. But try to keep it short, okay, Chief? I've got things to do. How long were you in Dragonkeeper? I ended up there after the anarchist revolution of 39. I was just a kid back then. Too young to realize how good I was. How much money I could have made working the shadows. He shakes his head, a wistful expression on his face. And so, being young and dumb, I fell in with the gang crowd. And that was that. You were a member of a drug gang? Is that what you mean? He didn't. I don't know if they're drug gangs, but why should I trust? What? Okay, so the option here is why should I trust you, or not asking anything. So I'll ask him why I should trust him. Why wouldn't you, Chief? I mean, just look at me. He does his best to give you a winning smile. I'm a trustworthy guy. He might be playing me with his smile. Prove it. Tell me about the gang that you ran with. Well, I don't know all that much, Chief. I wasn't a member of a gang leadership or anything. I'm not really sure why you care either. Well, consider it a test. I need to know where your loyalties lie. He rolls his eyes. Well, if that's what it'll take for you to trust me, fine. Anything for you, Chief. Well, where to begin? When I first arrived at Dragonkeeper, I spent some time taking in the lay of the land. The Schwarze Herzen were still a pretty small gang, street level, but I could see them, they were going places. I did a little pro bono decking for their leadership, or for their leader, a fat little dwarf named Dita. Soon enough, I was a part of the family. For a drug gang, the Schwarze Herzen were decent enough folks. I made a lot of money with them, helped them take the hotel in the first place. We had a lot of good years there. Then Dieter was killed in a firefight, and our happy little family fell apart. I imagine these drug gangs are cyberpunk style drug gangs and not perhaps. Well, there's other fiction. Cyberpunk has a traditional way of dealing with drug gangs. They're not like mafia. They're not designed around like codes or anything. They tend not to be. You know, like I'm trying to think of genres that treat specific types of outlawlessness, or I say outlawlessness, but I mean like specific types of criminality is what I should use, in a more typified way. You know, like gangsters or terrorists, if that is a trope. Or you know, they get a type, and drug gangs can be very different depending on what fiction you're dealing with. They can have a code, but I think the distinction here is that I think in Cyberpunk they really rarely have a code, and they're basically out for themselves. They're basically criminals of the lowest grade, and so for him to be saying that they weren't a bad lot, more importantly though, I think he says for a drug gang they were decent enough folks. I think this paints. This paints them in a specific light if you consider that the genre specifically if the genre specifically tends to treat drug gangs as they're basically worse than Shadowrunners. Shadowrunners, I don't know that they get a bad rep everywhere. Supposedly in different cities they probably have different reputations. But Shadowrunners, you know, they're basically mercenaries. They can be anybody. You could have a Zorro-style Shadowrunner that just fights for the poor. Or actually, probably Robin Hood or something would be a better example. Or you can just have anybody else, which tends to be the case for Shadowrunners. And that's why the genre is so interesting, in my opinion, especially as a role-playing game setup, is because you can be anybody and do anything and make your own terms. It was definitely designed to be like that from the get-go, but anyway. I made a lot of money with them, helped them take the hotel in the first place. We had a lot of good years there. And then Dieter was killed in a firefight, and our happy little family fell apart. Was that when the hotel got attacked? He takes a deep breath, shifts his weight from one foot to another. Not exactly. The Schwarzer Herzen maintained their hold on Dragonkeeper, but the change of leadership was bad news for me. After Dieter kicked the bucket, his second-in-command took over. She was a real piece of work, called herself Leonie Luster. She had a vicious streak, a mile long, and she was none too fond of me. Did she turn on you? Immediately, I don't know why. Maybe she felt threatened by my friendship with Dieter, back before he ate the bullet. Or maybe she was just jealous of my rugged good looks. Who the hell knows? The point is, she went after me, vigorously. He definitely knows why. He's just not holding it because the purpose of this conversation is to get me to trust him. I imagine he killed Dieter. I'm thinking that's what it is. It's kind of telegraphed, and it certainly fits within everything else that he's saying. Anyway, within 24 hours of Dieter's death, I had a prize on my head, and then the hotel got taken over. So that's what you need to know about the Schwarzer Herzen. They were a great gang, a powerful gang. I helped to make them that way, and then they had a management turnover, and everything went to hell. Blitz rocks back on his feet, his hands in his pockets. That's it. End of story. Anything else you want to talk about? I don't have enough intelligence. I would love to have enough intelligence to ask that. But I don't think this actually unlocks anything. This is what I was saying about the dialogue. It's fun to get these things, but they're not necessary for the story to be completed or for you to understand the characters. Like, for example, imagine, wait a second, that isn't it. There are pretty big holes in that story. And he says, yeah, well, maybe I'll tell about them later or something like that. He says probably something more interesting than that. But he's not going to tell me the holes right now, is what I mean to say. This doesn't unlock the next stage. And even if it did unlock the next stage, we can see the next stage next time. Nothing else, I'm satisfied. I'll let you get back to whatever it was you were doing. It is interesting. It is interesting, the way he's written, but that's what you should expect, honestly. So, let's spend some karma. Now, what do I want to have? It's pretty obvious I'm missing some stuff. And I have a little bit of intelligence. Wait a minute, 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 wait a minute. We can put it to the test. Load the game. It's a quick save, but when was it? 51. That was a while back. That was a while back. I think, was that even today? That was, yeah, that was today. It's kind of funny that it's just a day apart, but yeah, this is the time I'm recording. But that's a bit of a shame there, because I could have used that for this. In fact, yeah, let's do that. I don't think it's going to be a long time. I don't think it's going to be a long time for me to do this, because I probably have this quick... I'll see you in a little bit. The loadings take a little while. And that was actually before I had a chat with him, so that's pretty good. Now, let's spend the karma. Let's get a little bit of intelligence. And the reason why I'm going up on intelligence is because there's other things that it unlocks, like specifically biotech. Is that a good idea? Used in decking or rigging to calculate the chance to hit with the computer programs. Also used to reduce the chance to be hit by enemy programs in the Matrix. That's kind of a shame. This is not about being able to use the implants. Although it might. I wouldn't know. Yeah. Yeah, we're not gonna get to see... I mean, we could, now that we're here. I might as well put that to the test, put that theory to the test, but we're reloading the... We're reloading the save, most likely. Because I don't think I want... Oh, I didn't even spend it. I'm very sorry. I don't think I want it. So intelligence, click that, confirm, and now I spent 2 karma, because that's how that works. And then I can ask him about the other things just in case. Not safe, and then his smile widens. I can ask him a question. How long were you there? And then I can just keep asking this because the other options are mostly just stop talking to me. She turned on you. And there it is. Come on, Chief. This is all ancient history. Wouldn't you rather talk about the future? The runs we're gonna go on, all the money we're gonna make. Blitz, tell me what happened between Luster putting the price on your head and the hotel getting attacked. Alright, Chief, fine. If that's what it takes to make you happy. So, I was in a bind, right? The members of the Schwarze Herzen were loyal to Luster, who were loyal to Luster were all out for my blood, and none of the others were gonna stick their necks out for me. The advantage of being a ganger is protection in numbers. When those numbers turn against you, you've gotta get creative if you want to stay alive. What did you do? What I had to do? Luster had declared war on me, so I retaliated, and I won, all without ever firing a shot. That's not an answer. You won't be satisfied until I spit it out, will you? Okay, fine. I hacked into Luster's computer and sent all of her information to a rival organization. Remember Frank from the hotel? He was my liaison. They hit the Schwarze Herzen and they hit him hard. And then they took the hotel. Yeah, they took me. I'll admit, the plan backfired a little. And that's why he didn't want to tell me that. Served you right for ratting out your own gang. You're a traitor, Blitz. Whoa, back down, Chief. Remember, they betrayed me first. I did the only thing I could do to keep myself alive. Well, I don't like what you did, but I guess I can understand why you did it. Yeah, thanks, Chief. I knew you'd understand. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to get back to that what I was doing. Yeah, so you see, you got a little bit more story, but not anything groundbreaking or anything. So what I'll do is I'll go back to what we did, and now I am more at ease with the fact that I'm not getting more intelligence. I'm staying as dumb as I am right now forever. Because, honestly, I would like it if it unlocked, like, better body upgrades and stuff like that, but it doesn't. It doesn't seem to be the case. I'll consider it later. We can always level it up later. It's not really much of a problem. And in fact, leveling it up later makes more sense than leveling it up earlier. Because later on you can get you get as much karma. And anyway, that's going to be that for today. I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Shadowrun Dragonfall. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment, like the video if you would really want to see the next episode come out sooner rather than later. But above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.